Okay, great. Well, luckily that didn't pop up that I had to erase that message before we got started. So welcome everybody. We are on week 2 of our Fatmeltaway series. And I know we'll have a couple of dings of people coming in, but I wanted to be ready for everyone who has joined in. This is our week 2 of our biofeedback frequencies for the Fatmeltaway series. And I'm really stoked because I have heard from a couple of people from the group last week. And again, I appreciate everyone's patience last week. It was just crazy with not having internet and then trying to do it again and just a whole host of things that were kind of disruptors for us. But the beauty of it is that you got 2 emails with 2 codes to be able to use. And I'm hoping that everyone just took advantage of that. Those codes expire, so you'll want to look for the email again today. They'll expire today and or tomorrow. It might be tomorrow because I think I sent it the day after. But you'll just go ahead and insert the new playlist. You can actually label that playlist. I should probably do like a little mini session just to kind of go over how to use your Quanta capsule the best. But for now, what we want to do is just get started with our session because I have called upon the archangels. I did some meditation right before we got started. And we are set and ready to go. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and do my little pointer here. I'm going to click on the record, and we're all going to say A-E-I-O-U. I'm sorry, excuse me. My name is first, say your name, and then use series, and then please state your intention. Something else that I want to make sure that we do, and I'm going to post this in the groups as well, Barb, but just so that you know this, I will actually want to get people's intentions because I'm going to be doing a few extra things on the side. So I want to make sure that, you know, as we're going through, you actually have a challenge we're doing right now. Some of you are in what I think it's week 3 or 2 of the challenge. I think you're on week 3 of your challenge.
Week 2.
Week 2.
Well, the full challenge is we're just starting week 3.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And so with that said, you know, you've got some different goals that come up. So some of you, you know, as the 10 weeks occur, we may have some other things that come up. And oh, we need to do another session for Debbie. I just saw that she was not doing well. So it's time for another group session for her migraines. But let's go ahead. I'm going to hit that record button and we're going to say our name, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. State your intention for this week, what you want to accomplish so that the genius picks up that frequency. And then we will find out what the genius says. Okay, so I'm going to count us down right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My name is Dawn.
My name is Barb. A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. And my intention is to be disciplined with late night snacking.
Rid my body of inflammation.
Wonderful. Awesome job. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the voice harmonics. And I'm also going to, as it's doing its voice harmonics, I need to get a group picture. I should hit stop share really quick. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do who pops up in the whole thing. Let's see, I got everybody that way. All right, I'm going to hit next. That's good. I can get everybody's picture in. That's great. Thank you all. All right, and I am going to take a picture. Take a picture. Get my head in there. All right. And so just to reiterate, what the genius is doing is taking our image and our voice and placing them into the fast Fourier algorithms. And I want to go ahead and put a positive affirmation. right, hit begin analysis. All right, I always love to see what happens when we do these group sessions. So again, just to reiterate, I look for the reds and blues in each of the categories, and we have mind, biofield, we have a category of libraries, and then we have body. So we've got a lot going on. So I want to go ahead and take a look at the aura first and see where we're going to be working from. Last week's aura was just amazing to see the before and the after. Okay. Grab that picture so that I can send it to everybody. All right, the next place that I like to take a look at is along that chakra area. And yeah, that chakra area shows an opportunity not only in our crown chakra, but our brow chakra. The sacral isn't high enough, but that root chakra was high enough. I definitely want to pull that in. Well, it was in the low category. All right, so the next area that I'm going to pull in, but it's also a red, so I want to make sure that aura was in there, and is the meridians. Let's take a look at the meridians that have popped up for us. So we have the yin and yang meridian that we always look with the corresponding that's in the red and blue. So with the governing meridian, that yin and yang would be the conception meridian, and that's also in a blue, which is wonderful. So the next thing I want to do in each one of those meridians is take our red and take our blue and get to that conception. Oops, I hit the wrong one. Conception vessel, and get the red and the blue meridian points. And just so you can see, the blue are at the very bottom. Okay. So the next opportunity, that triple heater meridian is at 652. So whenever I see something like that, I want to kind of grab that as well. And the Circadian meridian goes along with that. Now, because it's not a red, I'm not going to put it actually in. I'm just going to pull the reds and blues from each one of those. So the yang to the Circadian or triple heater is the Circadian. So we'll go ahead and put those in as well. And for some of you who have not studied like any meridian points or Chinese, you know, some of the TCM Chinese traditional Chinese medicine, I'm really speaking to that. And I have a few books if you're interested that I am just falling in love with. So the large intestine is the next one. And so with the large, oops, I forgot to grab it first. The large intestine, the lung meridian shows up with it as far as the yang. So let's go ahead and, ooh, and that's a 777. So I'm pretty certain we're going to see the lung meridian. Oops, hit the wrong button. Red and blue. And so somebody isn't, Miranda, do you think you could mute yourself? Thank you. All right, so we have, so the lung, let's go to the lung. And blue. And then we have conception vessel, I already did. Then we have the stomach. And we'll pull in the red and the blue. And the stomach meridian, the yang meridian with the stomach is the spleen. Where's my spleen showing up? Here we go. And so we want to take the red and the blue. Ideally, some people have asked me this question before, could I just do like a whole session just doing meridian points and healing just that way? And yes, absolutely, we do that. So I want to actually, okay, yeah, okay. All right, so the next area we're gonna go to is our solfeggio tones. I'm gonna drag those all in. And we definitely wanna have miracles DNA expressing uniqueness. And that returning to spiritual order is high enough that I definitely want to pull those guys in too. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look at Nojir. So we want the red and the blue there. And sacred geometry. We're going to pull in the red and the blue. And I always like to throw in the toroids, which is related to our heart meridians and the flower of life. Okay, let's take a look at our brain anatomy, what's showing up there, because that's really coming up high. So we're going to go ahead and pull those reds and blues in. We have the brainstem, cortex, and parietal lobes. And let's take a look at brain EEG. So we have delta, and we have low beta and low gamma. And let's take a look at emotions. Okay, quite a few emotions. I'm going to grab the top 3 and then the lower 3. Okay, neurotransmitters.
Okay, Laura, quick question. On the lower ones,
Yes.
because it's the less, it's just because you're doing the yin and yang?
Yeah, you can think of it like that. You can think of like in the low numbers, if the low numbers are the least, like the low and the high are the disturbances. So the high could be an extraordinary amount of disturbance, and the low could be an extreme low of disturbance. But what we want to do is create a balance in those disturbances. That's an energy disturbance. And so that's why we look for the lows and the highs. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Good question. And please, while we're doing this, you know, because I like everyone to get what they need out of the session. And there's so much that goes on that you really, it's an important question. And we have a lot of reds and blues today. So I'm pulling them all in because each panel actually, believe it or not, has its own energy source. But then when you pull in the details of those energy panels, you want to have the specifics, because when I run the actual progressive, oops, I don't want that.
So by doing that, that's what helps create a more balanced aura for all of us?
It creates a more balanced aura, and it creates the energy within our system, our whole energy systems, so that as we run these frequencies, it attunes to our body. So I'll give an example. I've been working on my thyroid, and hopefully, well, my intention is for my thyroid, hypothyroidism, and my Epstein-Barr to be diminished, and absolutely clear it, harmonize it, so that I no longer have an issue. And so with that, what I do is I run my frequencies. Actually, I have a practitioner that I have actually hired to run my panels specific to what comes up for me along the thyroid panels that we have. And the thyroid panels include hormones, they include the thyroid, they include, there's a whole bunch of panels that I could walk people through. But what's been, since the last 2 months and 2 weeks that I've hired her and have run my panels successfully, I recently had an update with my doctor, and she said she's worried. She's like, oh my God, you must be starving. You must be losing a ton of weight. She's like, I have to way reduce your thyroid medicine. You're over the chart. Well, that's because the frequency balancing is working. And like, she's like, whatever you're doing, it's working. And I said, well, it's called energy medicine, but we can't call it medicine because that's not a traditional Western term. But I'm balancing my body back to its original format of when I was born, basically, so that I could be functioning and everything could be back to the youthful self that it needs to be. And I said, I know you don't understand what I'm talking about. Even my blood sugar, everything in my panel that she's ever looked at were insane. She just said, I don't care what you're doing, just keep on doing it, which is wonderful. I mean, and it makes sense. There's so much research since I started doing this that I've been doing, so much reading. I've got a class that I'm involved in right now that's certifying me in the 5 elements, the Chinese 5 elements, and actually a whole bunch more, but it's just insane. It's absolutely insane. So the other thing I want to take a look at is our spinal, digestion, and vitamins, because that really pertains to where we are. The red and the blue, digestion, and we'll take a look at our hormone panel, blue, hormones, red and blue. And our hormones, we're going to see a few of these hormones come back up again when we run our library panels. All right, so the only other thing I want to take a look at are body systems. Okay, endocrine, I expected to see that. Blue. All right. And, okay, did that. Body systems, oh, vitamins. There we go. All right, so we want to get our red and our blue vitamins. And I'll take in that vitamin E as well. All right, let's see what the libraries tell us that are happening. Now remember, it's the libraries where I pull the Fatmeltaway series, I pull in the big hormone panels that I have, and I also look at the peptides. So that's what we go from, and then we run our progressive analysis. But Barb, going back to that one question, if anything showed up for us as a 777, the higher up, you know, that's something that I absolutely will look at any panel, or if anything was a 1 when I go through our libraries. And you have to remember, this takes just a smidgen of time because I have over 900 plus libraries that we work with. All right, well, and it's wonderful because we have some ketosis panels going on, which I'm going to include these, optimize acetone for maximum fat burning, improve oxygen saturation. We're going to go ahead and include those reds and then these blues down here. Oh yeah, that does not surprise me. And one thing that I have been looking at, and we'll run this after we have several behind our belt, but I really, since I look at the meridians, I want to start looking at how the meridians affect our teeth as well, because it's really the energy from our teeth that floods through connecting points through all of our meridians, which is fascinating. But take a look, our next is part of where we're going to head is the THO. So I might as well just go ahead and hit the THO libraries. All right, so these are all our hormone libraries. So I'm going to go ahead and pull in what's coming up for us as far as a disturbance. So we pulled in all those red, and we're going to pull in these 2 blues, and we'll do the vitamin B complex, kidney yin deficiency. Panel 2, progesterone balancing. We'll take the red and the blue. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. I love all of those reds and blues. And then we'll take in the cortisol balancing. A lot of you who are doing isogenics will be interested in looking that we have a lot of adaptogenic herbs in almost every panel we will pull up, as well as the mushrooms that are essential in our body. And I'm going to pull in that Siberian ginseng. Okay, and we have testosterone balancing for women. So we'll go ahead and put in the reds and the blues. And then melatonin balancing. Oh yeah, I love these reds. I know I don't know about you, but sometimes when I cleanse, I have a hard time falling asleep because I have so much wrapped up energy. So I almost feel like some of this is my issue going on here because I just finished a 2-day cleanse. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and take a look at that Fatmeltaway series. All right, so we're going to take a look at our leptin. Oh, I definitely want to pull in this one. So let's go ahead and look at leptin reset. Red and the blues. Remember, leptin is what helps tell our body that we're actually full, right? Essential. And then this tells us when to start eating, and also works in the yang side of our leptin in our body. So wonderful. Okay, so we want to do hormone disruptors. I think I already did that one because that was in our, yeah, I'm sure I did, but just in case, yeah, I did. Okay, and then emotional unlock codes. That's an interesting one. I actually want to do that. It was number 6. So I want to put that in the main tray as well. Okay, and pull in the red and blue there. Digestive fire and microbes. There's that triple warmer balance. doesn't surprise me that we have that. And let's do our affirmations. Oh, I love these affirmations. Okay, pull those reds, and this is going to be a good one to pull in. And let's see what's in the blue. Yes, I am. It's okay to release weight now. I'm ready to participate in my life and manifest a body that's healthy and comfortable. Okay, I love these. Love, love, love them. Okay, the last series I'm going to take a look at is our our peptide series. All right. So we're going to go ahead and pull that red peptide. And this one's high enough that we want to pull that in. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see what's in the blue. All right, and this one we can definitely pull in. And we'll do some human growth harmonization as well. All right, it's time to, let's do one more affirmation. Let's do success. We want to have a couple more affirmations for success. I want to, emotions that activate success. We'll pull in the red and the blue. Yep, and let's see. Yep, we'll pull in the red. I have confidence. I know I'm really capable of having a fit and healthy body. And again, having those two pull up, this is a 777. I have the self-confidence. I know I've talked with a lot of people who don't have that confidence, and that's interesting, that's pulling up. And I'm going to throw in that yang right there. Okay, and there we go. Okay, now we are ready to run our progressive insights and see what comes to the top, because it's what comes to the top that we pull in for everybody. Okay, so I'm going to be I'm going to run the panels, all of these high panels, and I'm just going to check anything. I'm looking at all that come up as far as the high. These are the panels we'll be running, and then anything that pops out at me that come in the medium, I might pull up, like that one. I accept myself 100%. Love, flower of life. Reduce inflammation. Okay, hormone disruptors. Okay, these we have actually, I probably will pull in that one. Again, I'll be running, oh, I want to do that Dun Quay. Okay. Here we go. And then we want to do that one. Yep. I will run all the panels until we go through them all so everyone knows. But right now, I'm going to do a share button, and I'm going to start adding in. Let's go ahead and add in my members. So we know Debbie, Jennifer, Shelley, Laura Lee. There we go. Miranda, Nina, Amy, Susan, Missy, Dawn, Felicia, Deanna, me, yep, Ingrid, Sarah, okay. Yep, Desiree, Nick. Don't think I missed anybody. Okay, and off we go. and you'll be getting an email. So I wanted to keep the recording going so that we could actually show what to do once you get these frequencies. So that would be wonderful. So in just a second, someone will pop up and they'll say they've got the email. And I'll check my email before I let loose of this particular, just to make sure we got everybody, but I'm pretty certain I got every single person. Deanna is the only one that I don't remember seeing click off. Okay, the emails are on their way. They're all being downloaded, sent to everybody. And so remember, it comes from Insight Health Apps. As you see, you can see it kind of popping up here. Let me use my little pointer. You can see it pop up here. It's from Insight Health Apps. And so there'll be a code that says Laura J. Hall has just shared with you a code. You're going to click on the email that you receive, copy the code. It's just the easiest way to do it. And then you're going to open up your app, your Quanta Capsule app, just like this. It looks just like that. And when you have it open, you're going to click on you're going to click on the very far right buttons that are right here at the far right. And it's your menu bar. And in the middle, on the very top row, it says import Quanta code. So I'm actually going to grab my email just so I can demonstrate too, because my email should have come forth by now. Okay, there's my code, Laura J. Hall. I just got to find mine. To Laura, oh, there's Deanna. Good, I got Deanna. This is a good way for me. I get a copy of everybody's email, so I have to search through just to find mine. So what I like about how this system works is that I get a copy of the email that you get a copy of, and there's my code. And everybody has their own code. So that's how specific it is to you. And so I copied my code. Now I'm going to hit import Quanta code right there. And there's my little code bar. I'm going to paste exactly how I copied it. And I'm going to say okay, and it's going to go into the load feature. And I have several libraries. That's the beauty of, since I started, the developers really enhanced our Quanta capsule. We're so fortunate because I used to have to send multiple capsules to clients, and now I don't have to. We can just have playlists, which I love. And I actually have a client that I'm working on a husband and a wife team, so they'll each get their own code to listen to. And they do it through their iPad. And so you go ahead and hit load, and then it'll go ahead and load. And what's important is that you have to click on add all items to tray before you can play them. And then at the very bottom, there's a little ball. You can go left or right. And what you want to do is it's set up at 15 minutes. But then there's this little arrow button here, and hit play. And then I actually have a feature turned on. You don't have to have the feature turned on that I have, but you can hear my chime, my frequencies that are set in chime. But you can have that feature turned on, and that's in your add fractals. It's the middle button, second row. And you can add fractals, which is really pretty awesome. So what I was saying in the beginning of this session is I think I'm going to play a water harmonizing fractal for you. You can put your water on, so that it will be set up for a great pH, and it'll have some beautiful solfeggio tones in the harmonizing. So you can actually set your glass of water on your iPad, or you can put it on your phone. You can do it with your Ionic Supreme. You can do it with anything you want to do, but you can put it on for 15 minutes and just play that beautiful frequency and harmonize your water. So that's one of the gifts that I'm going to be sending you this week, is a harmonizing water gift that you'll also get to play. I'm so excited about the little things that I'm kind of brainstorming. Oh, I could do this for the team. I could do this for the group, and it'll be so fun to do things like that. So definitely, if you haven't seen the Emoto water study that's out there, just Google it. Be amazed. He talked to water in a bad, like a horrible way, labeled the water horribly, talked to it in okay way, and then lovingly. Take a look at.
That's really interesting because, you know, you and I both have the alkaline ionizer,
Yes.
which is awesome. But I have the Beamer blanket, and I lay my bottle of alkaline water next to me when I'm doing the Beamer blanket, and it picks up the energy from the Beamer blanket.
Yes, it does. It does. And that Beamer blanket also includes some of the color therapy. So I think you just made me just ding, ding, ding. I'll put my color, I have a color panel, a color light therapy panel that I'll throw in for the water harmonizing panel that I put together for everybody.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. You know, it's just, I mean, the sky is the limit. It's infinite of what we can do. I want to stay on track, obviously, when we're doing the Fatmeltaway series, because this is helping us times 10, and the group work, the group energy work really exponentially helps us. But remember, play these Fatmeltaway frequencies, play them 15 minutes minimum in the morning, 15 in the afternoon. If you're walking around and emptying your dishwasher and you have earbuds, play them that way. You know, you're getting, I have these jawbone, they synthesize and rub it, like kind of vibrate against my, my, I don't know, this part of my ear, not exactly on my ear, but right here. And it enhances the frequency exponentially. And sometimes I'll put my weighted blanket on me after meditation and just listen for 15 minutes. But if you're so damn packed, you've got kids, it's the summer, I get it. Just do what you can. And any of these things are not going to affect, because these frequencies are set for you. Now, the water harmonizer, what's beautiful is you can set your intention to that water harmonizer. And if you want to play your solfeggio tones for the kids, just for calming and settling them down, you can do that as well. So you have so many benefits of just having this quantum capsule. That's what I'm so excited about. So,
you know, Laura, what's so cool, and I wanted to ask Shannon and Dawn, because they've now done this for 2 weeks. Shannon, did you do this last week?
I did.
Okay, have you noticed anything differently with the intentions that you set?
I think so.
I know it's the first week, it was a little bit more gradual, but it's starting to sink in a little bit more, you know, because it's not instant. You have to, we're balancing our bodies. And I do now, one of my intentions was to only have one serving rather than a second helping. And I am really full by the end of that first serving. And it's now been 2 weeks. So I really see the difference in that. So, you know, I'm kind of resetting my intention to go along with it. And it's cool how it's working. And Dawn, and I don't know if you're busy or if you can pipe in, see if you have noticed anything.
oh, we can't hear you, Dawn. You can't hear you for some reason.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Last week was my first week, and I don't know yet. So I'm going to see what happens this week.
That's kind of how I felt the first week. And now that I've been through 2 full weeks, that's where I'm starting to see the difference now. So yeah, but it's very gradual, but it's interesting how we're creating a balance within ourselves.
Yeah. So, and that's really good feedback, Dawn. I actually have a person who I believe is going to start this week. And I believe Kathy Bratz, does she do isogenics? I don't think she does. So I have quite a few people who are on our group that are not actually on the 2 pages you started, Barb, but
Yeah.
are just doing it. And I have a new client who's not actually going to be a client for isogenics. She's going to be a client for this group. And I'm going to see how that goes for her as well. I'm going to do a special session to set her up so she gets caught up to speed. And then
I think a lot has to do with our own personal mindset, because I'm sure there's some skepticism when we first start.
Well, I will tell you this, everything begins and ends with intention. So if you have the intention set, anything can happen.
Right.
I mean, when you read some of the books that are out there by Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, you read anything as far as energy healing, you have to look at where the intention is. The intention and attention is where energy flows. So if you believe in energy and the magic of energy, it's all about what that intention and where your energy is. So,
Well, and on top of that intention, I feel when we tie ourselves emotionally to that intention, because, and like you said, you pulled out that lack of confidence in part of the series is we have to be confident in what we can accomplish. And part of that is the intention that we need to put together. So with the confidence and the emotion and the strength of will, it all comes together.
So I'm going to go ahead and hit the stop share just so that we can all be on the page together in our gallery view. And I want to just say thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and end the session with thanking the archangels that came in to help us. I actually want to pull in who showed up because I did a massive intention setter for a few archangels, and I'm actually expanding all of the archangel panels right now. I'm halfway through them, creating them. And so I want to see who showed up and who has not shown up, just to see what they say, because it's fascinating. And then I'll pull those in as well when I do the water harmonizer so that you can see them, see who showed up. But I just love that we showed up. Those of you who couldn't show up because you're busy at work or in bed or have kids, summer, whatever it is, it's okay because we set the intention for the entire group before getting started. So those of you who weren't here, it doesn't matter that your voice isn't here. It just matters that you showed up and you're going to pull those codes off and start using them. That's
Okay, Dawn raised her hand.
Pardon?
Did you raise your hand? You have a hand in front of you on your screen.
Who does?
No, I think you went like that.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. So and Laura, I wanted to thank you for the time you're putting in for us and creating something new for all of us, as well as we grow as you grow. So thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
my
thank
pleasure.
you.
I'm so happy. It makes me thrilled and excited. I'm so happy to do this. And I know that we do have, I was thinking today, and I didn't send Debbie a message. If anyone from this group wants to help Debbie for a group work for her migraines, we need to actually look back and do that again. Hopefully we can do it this week because I think she ran out of her frequency, so we need to help her out.
Yeah, did we, I didn't see a message come through for, you've been doing those on Tuesdays, haven't you?
I had, but I actually, she may have thought that, I didn't know who, she may not have realized those are going to be gone and empty because it's her first time.
Okay.
And so I will just say, I probably dropped the ball and should have scheduled it and said, let's go ahead and get it ready. I didn't even think after I got home on Sunday, I wasn't thinking.
You've had a crazy weekend.
I had a fun blast of a weekend, but I'm going to send her a message when we get set off. Just so everyone remember, I'm going to run these panels until I have the rectification of over 55% and run and run and run and run, and then we'll see the aura later. But I'm really happy that everyone has their email, so I can just run the panels until the cows come home, because we're gonna just we're blasting this one out of the park.
Yeah, so, and I wanted to thank Shannon and Dawn for showing up in person. It makes a big difference with the energy in the group, so thank you.
Yes, I so appreciate.
Okay.
Okay, she had to hop off, email later. Got it. All right, well, we will see you all later. I'm going to stop the recording. I want to actually